Hello guys, this is Solomon of Solomonic Demons, and today we're gonna be talking about the direction that Kramer Guitars is taking. Alright, so we are in 2023 and for a couple of years Kramer Guitars have been doing great. Kramer joined the Gibson family in 1997, and at the beginning of the purchase of Kramer from Gibson, the only way for you to get a Kramer guitar was from the custom shop of Gibson. So I guess from 1997 to the early 2000s, the only way for you to get a Kramer guitar was if you purchased a USA made guitar from the custom shop. Now in the early 2000s, Gibson introduced the overseas Kramer guitars. Now these guitars were mostly made in China, and the quality of these guitars wasn't really good. It wasn't until 2010-2011 when Gibson relaunched the Kramer brand. Now this time they brought almost all the classic models that made famous Kramer in the 80s. They have the Baretta, the 84, the Striker, the B-Knight, the Salt. And maybe I'm missing something, but they brought a lot of models. Now most of the models of these guitars, even the cheapest one that was the Baretta Special, were made in Indonesia or Korea. The quality of the guitars was great. I mean, the guitars were affordable, they had really good components on it, they played great, and little by little Gibson was reviving the brand, gaining new customers or bringing back old customers from the 80s. Now, like I said, the quality of the guitars were good, plus the guitars played really good, plus there was a lot of nostalgia from the 80s because all the models were a perfect tribute. The guitars really look like the original models. They have these crazy colors and really actually bring you back on time. So it was a really good move from Gibson. I think that it was in 2015 when Kramer stopped the production of some of the models that they had on Korea, and they moved almost all the productions of the guitar to Indonesia, except the Kramer Focus, because that was the cheapest guitar that they had on the market. It was around $100. That one was made in China. The few models that were made Korea, like the Kramer Assaults, to Indonesia, because Indonesia catch up with the quality. And honestly, there was no change of quality. This is the Indonesian made Assault. This is from 2020, and I know that you can find the same models, same specs, but made in Korea, and that ones will be 2015, maybe the last one's 2016. The quality of this guitar is amazing, but that's a topic for another video. Let's back to the topic of the video. The major big change of Kramer. 2021, they relaunched a couple of models. They discontinued this one. This model, honestly, it doesn't have that 80s vibe, that 80s nostalgia. And they make it even better for anyone that want a single cut with Floyd Rose and the original Kramer banana headstock. Now, I bought this one because the ebony fretboard, but like I said, that's a topic for another video. Let's get back to the topic. And at the same time, they start making signature guitars, from Snake Sabo to Tracy Guns and Dave Mustaine. And I think this is when Kramer really put itself here. Because when they announced the Dave Mustaine model is when I get crazy. I mean, most of the guitars of Kramer back then, until 2021, the most expensive one was $800 or $899, I think, if I'm not wrong. I think was the 84 $899, and I couldn't wait for the Kramer Dave Mustaine to come out. I already had tried the Kramer Baretta Specials, and I had 3 Kramer Baretta Specials, not here in this studio because I moved, but in the old studio, and those guitars were great. For the price that those guitars were back then, $179. I think some of them are still $179. Those guitars were amazing. Those guitars were crazy. I mean, for the price, for me it was the best entry-level guitar, but at the same time that any guitar player can play and will feel great. I mean, the quality of these guitars were great. Finally, the Kramer B from the Mustaine came out, and I was expecting an Indonesian Kramer around $899, $1,000 mostly. But no, what we get is a $1,300 guitars made in China that I already tried in Guitar Center, and the guitar doesn't make justice to the Kramer brand that Gibson have been building over these 12 years. Now, this is not the only problem that we have. The same day that I tried the Kramer Day Mustaine on the store, I saw a couple of variety specials, and there were two kind of imported or overseas Kramers. There were the Chinese made that was $229, I think, or $218, I forget, and the one that was $179 that was made in Indonesia. And the Chinese model didn't feel like the Indonesian. The Indonesian was better. Kramer is moving to China. I mean, I think that is no point to Gibson to keep making guitars in another countries that are not China, because they have their own factory in China. I mean, they have to pay manufacturers, they have guitar builders, manufacturers in Indonesia to make their guitars, and the profit that they gonna make is not the same profit that they're gonna make on China with their own factory. I did a review of Epiphone Les Paul Custom a couple of months ago, and I said that the guitar felt good. It was a good guitar for $789. I mean, I keep saying that. For the price of the guitar, it is actually a really good tribute for the $5,000 that these days Gibson Les Paul Custom is. In the same video, I also said that any Epiphone guitar was good. It wasn't over $1,000. I mean, even the Epiphone Slash series, and that at the time were everywhere were $999. Now they are $789. And the same day that I went to try the Kramer of the Mustaine to get it, I had the opportunity to try one of those Slash Epiphones, and the guitar was really good for the $500 new that were in store with a case. And I think that I'm going back for that guitar, but it was $500. For $500, it was good. I'm still going around, but the problem that I have with Epiphone is the quality control that you have. For me, Epiphone guitars are guitars that you have to go to the store and try it. I'm saying this because I actually bought Epiphone SG Standard last month to make a review in this channel, and that guitar was atrocious. I had to return it. The truss rod was loose, was rusted, and it was a brand new guitar, and the neck was totally concave, and I couldn't fix it. I tried to change the strings, I tried to move the truss rod. Yeah, that was a brand new guitar that came out from the factory like that. That's the problem that I have with Epiphone, is their quality control. Their quality control is not the best out there. And now that Kramers are Epiphone too, what we can expect from Kramer? I mean, I think that the quality gonna go down. More expensive guitars, even if they change the production of the guitars were made, and now they are doing it on their own house. So nothing against Epiphone, nothing against China, but I do work on a factory, and I know that it's hard to keep a production and quality level standards, but that's part of the job. It's not justified that one day you guys bring a very nice instrument outside and the second day you bring a piece of garbage just because you have to meet the demand. That's not how the things work. Guitars are not piece of furniture. Guitars are instruments. There is a fusion of a lot of components with wood, and they have to be crafted correctly. And like I said, what Gibson is doing, what Epiphone is doing, and Kramer is doing now in China, for me is not justified. If right now you are on the market for a Kramer guitar, try to get one made in Indonesia, because the ones that you see on the store might be the last ones you see new ever. This was Solomon from Solomonic Demons. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care and bye.